Ha! What's going on, watch enthusiasts, consumers, all of you guys that just absolutely love watches? Welcome back into another episode, man. Today, we're gonna be talking about a watch that I've had my hands on for quite some time. Noctua Watches. Not to be confused with the Hawk Tour girl. It's definitely been one to talk about. It's been one to experience because there's a number of channels. Man, just look at how many channels have talked about this very watch.
But it's a 42 millimeter diameter case. You've got 46 millimeters lug to lug.
Performance, still the same. Understated, simple, plain design with a rugged build. I'm actually wearing it right now.
Gosh, I have been somewhat flippantly calling this a Zen killer for many moons now.
And today we actually are doing a watch review on a new independent brand to enter into our space. Noctua Watch Corp has just done their release in early October.
But this is one of the watches. This is one. There's two. I have the other one that's sitting right here, but I wanted to show you this one right here. Now, the watches I'm going to show you that I'll talk about today, there's newer renditions. These are sort of like prototypes. He changed the way this look. I believe the newer one does not have that black crown on it, man, but does have full lume dial. It has packaging that's crazy, but I want to tell you the experience. Now, it's preferred by the veterans, and let me explain why. So right here, I'm on my way to one of my appointments at VA Hospital. I jump on the elevator. Of course, I talk to my provider. And once I spoke to my provider, I said, okay, are we done here? He said, yes. I said, I got a question to ask. He said, what's that? What do you think of my watch? This is what I threw up in his face. I said, what do you think of this right here, right? He said, oh, very tactile. Very military-esque is what he said. His words, not mine. So, I did show him this as well. And he said, oh, he liked this one more. I just called him crazy because I was like, between the two, this is my absolute favorite. This one right here, hands down. Now, don't get me wrong. I think this is pretty dope, right? Now, the pros and cons of these watches, now, these things have great lume on it. The lume, according to some of the reviewers, it didn't last all the way through the night. And the time you can't, listen, JP needs that feedback. So in future renditions of these watches, he will correct the problem. And then there's another one I'll tell you about. But for all of my technical people, let me do one thing for you right now. The specs. The specs is where it's at for some people. And I do have to take this watch off while you guys are reading the specs on the screen right now. You know, so I guess this is a spec break, if you will. Don't mind me. I'm just switching over to this watch. Ah, look at this lovely. You guys got enough of the specs? All right, cool. So I'm going to tell you this, too. I filmed this. I didn't know how I really wanted to do this video, man, because there's so many aspects to this watch that you have to know about, right? From every reviewer that talked about this, they hit it from the angle from the bead blasted bracelet. They hit it from the bezel turn, 120 click, which is so comfortable and it's a great experience. It's a great vibe. But the one thing that I love most about this watch, outside of the bead bracelet and all of the specs, is the comfortability. This watch became more than just a watch for me because I am a veteran. I am prior service. And I would have loved to have this watch going into a war type of situation. One, it doesn't give off a lot of reflection, right? Is the vets love this part. So let's look at just look at it as a whole overall. These are the attributes that people love most about this watch, is the legibility and just the overall aesthetic of the watch. They didn't care about the movement. They didn't care. They thought it was quartz at first. I said, no, it's sweeping motion, so it is definitely automatic. Here's the one thing to note. With this watch, it does look like a Zen, right? And it does have characteristics of like a Seiko, the case-wise. Nobody that I talked to on day one of me showing this mentioned that. Not one of them. So that just told me that we're crazy about watches, some of us, right? But that just puts us in this category that we're so small in our enthusiasm and our knowledge of other companies and other watches that may look like something else. They had no idea. Moving on to phase two of this, I wore this watch with everything that I did. I even lost 6 pounds in my everyday walk and going to the gym and stuff like this. I wore this watch to the gym, experiencing, you know, just putting it through his paces, right? Just testing it. And I'm talking to JP, and JP said, hey, by all means, wear this watch, enjoy it. So my experience with this watch has been this, and I will say, as I look down at this watch, it does have a legibility like none other. I absolutely love the owl on there, right? The lume is just right on a full charge. I love the crown guards, which I think is pretty dope. Now, takeaways for this was when I took it on at my vacation with me. I took it on a cruise. And this is where the magic happens. So now this watch goes from being a tester to a companion. I literally forgot. Like, it wasn't on my mind that I'm testing this watch and I'm borrowing this watch. It's not mine. I didn't care about any of that. I was just excited to wear it. And I brought 17 watches with, no. I brought 18 watches and I wore one. So I had 19 watches on the cruise. I know it's excessive, but I'm always the eyeball out. Anywho, this became more of a companion because I wore a few watches all the time. This one was the one. Every morning I walked around that ship. I walked 4 miles on this ship every morning, be it treadmill or just the track that they had. I had this on. And I've been in the sauna. I've been in the pool. I went to the ocean in Nassau, right? Boom, went there. And I want to ask you guys, how many people know that James Bond was filmed in Bahamas? I understand it has nothing to do with this watch. But keep this in mind. Could you imagine if this watch was present on somebody's wrist? Not saying so much, you know, 007, but imagine somebody in that movie having this watch on. It would have fit. It would have literally went with the theme of that movie, be it an enemy or somebody that he was chasing. Y'all will see this part of the movie, that this is where they filmed it at. James Bond Corner, 2006. I'm just saying, placement is everything. Which brings me to my last point. And you guys, man, feel free to let me know what you think of this watch so far down there. The website is very easy to go through. It goes like, it's the theme of this watch, the green and black, the subdued, the nightness of it, you know what I'm saying? Yes, or should I say stealthiness of the website as far as a tactical or tactical watch, if you will. It fits the bill. It actually evoked an emotion for me. I was like, yo, I like this watch. And yes, this watch has to be a part of my collection right now. I like it. I do like this one. And you know, you got the best of every world. You have a flieger and a diver. Then you got like your field flieger with this one. He hit the point. He hit it on the head. What is the most bought or purchased watch or sold after? Divers. Divers. So he's already, in my opinion, in my book, he's already batting 1,000 with this idea, just the idea of having a dive watch, right? But then the tactile feel. This is a watch that I'm going to say this. Because of the bead blast finish, because of this, and I prefer, and I do like the bead blast bracelet, which it has screw pins in it, right? Hold up, I'll show you. It does have screw pins. You can screw that out, man, which I think just adds another level of quality to this watch. But for me, this is a watch that I think a military or police, like some type of police force or special forces should have this as an issued piece. Now, this comes from Canada and it's hand built. He makes these by hand himself, right? in itself is amazing. There's an entrepreneurial spirit behind it, the vibe of this man that comes up with this idea and he put it out there. Now, it has an NH35, NH38. There were some people that said they wanted this watch to have a Swiss movement in it. Now, who knows? Maybe that's the future. Maybe that will be a watch for the future, a build for the future. He does have a GMT, and I'll say for the 3 models that he got, I give it an A+++++. But as far as I'm concerned, this watch fits the criteria of what I'm looking for, and it's functional, and it's more than just a what's on sale. What can I get that are just easy peasy? This is a watch that I can put in my everyday. Especially what I do at work. I'm physical at work. I'm physical in my play, and I'm just an active guy. This watch is made perfectly for me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have any negatives about this watch. I just got to get it home with me. Now, you can save some coins. Trap 15 down in the description right now, and you get 15% off of your purchase of this watch. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Hey, don't, you know what? You ain't got to thank me. Thank JP. He put it together. He allowed me to wear the watch for the time being, and I'm enjoying it. And when, you know, and I got to send it back, I'll have a ceremony, because that'll be, I have separation anxiety, man. And I'm like, that's why I got to get my own, because I can't be without this watch, bro. It's that tight. So, all right. Tell me what y'all think. Is it dope? Is it a plus for y'all? Get a good, yeah. All right, man. So thank y'all for spending y'all most valuable time with your boy. Yes. And until the next lightning strike, y'all be blessed.